Hi everyone, I am Alicia coming to you from Brisbane. I am going to do a series of videos to help you with your homeschool journey, at least the beginning part I hope. And with this particular video that I'm about to go through with you is me actually showing you what the registration form looks like, what we're going to go through all the questions together, and you'll see me fill it all out with a fake character. Okay, so our homeschool child for this exercise is called Sierra. What did I call her? I just totally made up a name. Sierra Jones Whitaker. That's her name. Her mum's name is Sally Jones. Okay, so that's who we've got in this scenario, and I'm going to go through the form with you. So be prepared. It's a little boring because we're just going to see the form for the rest of the video, and you'll see me fill it out. At times you may feel free to fast forward if you're like, okay, I get this. But yeah, it's basically just so you get an idea of what gets asked, what's required, because it really does depend on what your family circumstances are like as to how much info you may or may not need to give to the homeschool department when you register. Okay, well, enjoy, and I hope it's helpful. Okay, for those of you looking to register with the homeschool department, I'm going to go through this form with you tonight. It's called the application for registration for home education. So this is once you've decided to pull your child out of school, or maybe your child hasn't started school but you've made the decision for homeschooling. It's time to send this form away to the homeschool department. There's a bunch of information on the front there. I'm not going to go through all of that. You're welcome to go to the Home Education Department's website and have a read of the form. You can download it. There is also an online version, but of course I am doing it with the hard copy for the videos. Purpose? Because I think it will be a lot easier. All right, so what I want to point out first is this section here. What you'll need to send along with this paperwork is a certified copy of the child's full birth certificate, a certified copy of a document such as a marriage or change of names certificate linking the applicant's name to the parent's name appearing on the child's birth certificate. Note, this is only required if the applicant's name does not appear on the child's birth certificate. Number 3, copies of any current court orders. Number 4, other documentation to demonstrate the applicant is exercising parental responsibility for the child if the applicant is not a biological parent. So this would be for foster parents, grandparents that have taken a grandchild in, so on and so forth. Number 5, a certified copy of the completed statutory declaration. I believe that is relevant for some of the questions, depending on your situation and your circumstances. And number 6, a summary of the educational program to be implemented to demonstrate the high quality education to be provided to the child. So this one here is the one that actually takes the most time. I'm going to be going through just the regular form with you, but number 6 is really what will take time for you, because that is when you have to have a long and hard think about how you're going to do your homeschooling. And there's such a wide and vast variety of how to do your homeschooling. I talk about different approaches to homeschooling in a different video if you'd like to have a look at that. And basically this number 6 here is actually the most important part out of the whole registration process. They want to absolutely see that you're well aware of what you're going to provide to your child. All right, so here's the form. I'm going to be a Sally Jane Jones as the parent, and Sally Jane Jones has a child called Sierra Joanne Jones. All right, So obviously the first details is the parent's details. So title is going to be Ms. and we're going to have Sally, Jane, Jones, and applicant's relationship to the child is we're going to put down mother. Applicant's residential address, we're going to put down 123 Ocean Street at Springfield, not a real address that I know of. Applicant's postal address, we're going to say as above. Home phone number, mobile number 0412 345 678. Apologies to anyone who actually has that phone number, but I thought it was the most perfect fake mobile number, 04 12345 Okay, email address is going to be sallyjones@email.com. Next, we have an additional person. So if you're married and you want your partner to also be contactable by the home education department, or in general, maybe you're both going to be sharing the child's home education, why not? Welcome to put it in here. It says here in the in this section that the details of a second person may be the child's other parent. So in other words, it doesn't have to be. These are key words. May be. Depending on your circumstances in life, you may well have your own parent helping out with the home education of your child. You may be someone yourself that needs support, and maybe you have a support worker or a counsellor or any other professional, maybe a social worker, that is going to form a part of your homeschool setup. Okie dokie, we're going to go over to the child's details. So, legal first name. Our child's legal first name is Sierra. Her legal middle name is Joanne. And her legal family name, as per her birth certificate, is actually Jones Whitaker, hyphenated. You'll see why I've come up with this kind of name in a minute. Then it says preferred first name. Her preferred first name, believe it or not, is Sia. She's going to shorten Sierra to Sia, and that's what she's going to go by. And her preferred family name is in fact Jones. She's dropped the Whitaker somewhere along the line. She goes by Sia Jones. Down here we've got gender, male or female. We're going to go female. Is the child Indigenous? Yes, no. We're going to go no. Or I do not wish to provide this information. All right, so previous name. Enter the details of the child's previous name. So we've already established that for this child, she's dropped the Whitaker out of her surname at some point. So I am going to just repeat it down here. Her previous surname was Jones Whitaker. Apologies to anyone who does have that surname. I've just made it up out of the corner of my head. Residential address of the child is 123 Ocean Street, Springfield. I'm writing very messily, 4300. And the address where the home education will be provided. This question really surprises me because it is legally expected that home education will be provided in the child's home for the most part. They even mention it later on in the documents. Okie dokie. So here we are, out-of-home care arrangements. This is for when there's out-of-home care arrangements, family court orders, and other court orders in place, such as like a DVO. The department needs to know about those items as well. So is the child identified as residing in out-of-home care? Yes, no. Need to provide documentation and put in the dates. Contact details with the child safety officer if known as well in there. Any family court orders? Yes, no. Again, we need to send along copies of those documents and write down the commencement date and date in here. Other court orders? Again, yes, no, and attach those forms as well. Put in the dates in here for easy reading, I believe. Okay, educational details of the child to be home educated. So we're going to say that the last year of education for the child was 2025 and they went to Springfield State School, not a real school. All right, let's continue. Details of who will provide the home education. Child's teacher. Is your child's education to be provided by a parent? In most cases, because this is an application for home education, it's going to be a yes. Sometimes a family may have the means to pay for a registered teacher because under S.205 of the Act, the education of the child must be provided by one or both of the child's parents or by a registered teacher, and primarily at the child's usual place of residence. There it is, per the Act. It does actually have to be mostly at the child's home. So there are actually teachers who have stepped out on their own to become tutors, and if you're in a position to be able to do so, you are welcome to have them come to your home and actually make them a part of this form. There are also tutors that are otherwise trained and they don't need to go into this form. They just simply form a part of a child's week. Do you give consent to the home education unit providing information regarding the registration of the child to this person? So this is if you've put down a registered teacher in this section, you can say yes or no. Where I'm going to be doing a completely separate email, what am I saying? A completely separate video for this section. This section is called Summary of the Child's Educational Program. This is the section of the application that I said takes up the most time, the most thinking power, and probably the most stress for some people, but honestly, for some parents, I should say, honestly, it's not as overwhelming as it can feel. It's not as difficult as you might think. So that's going to be a separate video. Stay tuned for that one. And then over here we've got declaration. I insert full name. We're still Sally Jane Jones at this point. I, Sally Jane Jones of 123 Ocean Street, Springfield, not a real address that I know of, in the state of Queensland. Forgive my very messy writing. Do solemnly and sincerely declare that I am the parent of the child specified in this application, and the information on and attached to this form submitted by me is true and correct to the best of my knowledge. I make this declaration conscientiously believing the same to be true. So again, parent name, we're going to go Sally Jones. Signature, and we're going to make one up. Sally. And today's date is actually the 21st of the 1st of the 26th. And here they've got a nice little checklist for you to help you out, because obviously you've got to remember to attach a whole lot of documents. So this is just a little checklist for you to go, yes, I do have that document, no, not yet, or yes, or this doesn't apply, and so on and so forth. So that is how we fill out the home education registration form. And you're welcome to print it out or do it online. I like printing things out, makes it so much easier for me. I do also believe that if you have more than one child, say you have 3 children, you need to fill one out for each child. I've just finished helping my friend out with registering her 2 children, and we did 2 separate forms and sent them away. I hope that's helpful to you. All the best with your homeschool journey.